All right. Hello. Here we go. I'm going to go over my wrapping, and then the bending technique that I'm using in double underhand, hyper modified double underhand, whatever you want to call it. I have a Eat Chalk Get Big 7x5 inch by 1/3 drill rod, Q drill rod. I mark it at 4 centimeters to start. I don't like to go deeper than that. Got suedes 5 inches wide, 12 inches long. And the key is always to get it very tight to start. So we'll start wrapping. I'm using the scale weight as my counterpoint. Most people use clamps. I don't blame them. I would use clamps, but this table is basically falling apart from the clamps. It's too flimsy. We need a better table, but whatever. This works. I don't like that. It's a little bowed out. I'll go back here, pulling against the suede as I wrap. And as you can tell, very well chalked. The chalk helps the layers stay together. And that's that side. A lot of chalk. Four centimeter, a little extra chalk around where the bar is going to go. Which is this. These suedes are getting a little beat up. I could try to stretch out the other side, but they're doing fine. Layer 2 is a piece of veg tan. What is this? Again, 5x12. It's thick, it's tough, takes a while to work in. Because I have the veg tan on the inside, it doesn't hold chalk well, so I like to sprinkle a little on there before the wrap, especially on the contact point with the suede. I'm wanting to line up the seam, especially near the center, with the edge of the veg tan. So I get it lined up, pull it back, get it real tight. Keep pulling. Like even that's a little flimsy, so I have my knee against this. That's 100 pounds there, and still that's better. Even in the wrapping, I'm kind of bowing it to get it, make sure it doesn't overlap too much. Like this isn't perfect. I mean, for this bar, it's okay. See a little bit of back wrapping. That's okay though. This one's even a little looser than I would like, but I'm not too stressed about it. And you'll see it when I get to the technique. See, that's what, there we go. I forgot to stretch this out. Stretch it out to make sure this seam is under tension. And I'm trying to keep this seam as tight as possible. Yeah, that one was much better. First wrap of the day. It's not. A little better. No flop, whereas that one's got a little bit of movement. You'll be fine. When we put bigger bars in, it'll pressure out. All right, third layer. This is one I just recently adopted. It's actually a 5x14, 2mm suede. I was before using one of these. You can see how stretched out that is. It's like, not. That gets really tight though. This is harder to stretch, but it works out actually. Again, tighten the end. Line up the seam. Tight, tight, tight along that seam. This is like your inner fulcrum. You have to get it very solid. The other side. Can't keep falling down. Line up the seam. Tight. Okay, we're getting there. One more layer. And this one is now a very thin suede. I would just use a thin suede. This one's some, I think, goat leather or something like that. Doesn't really matter. Point is, you have all these layers and you want them to be solid. And this is going to help cinch it all down. Add some more integrity to the whole roll. See how much this stretch. Even this one's getting a little overstretched. There. That's that one. Same on the other. Line up the seams. It'll tight. You know what? Get that backwards. This way. Sorry. Because I want the softer side out. I do a lot of bends with this piece, so definitely want the softer side. Secured side in, soft side out. All right. Barrels are constructed. This new version I've been using 2.3, 2.27, 2.27, yeah, 2.25, yeah, around 2.25. And you can see, hopefully, there. The construction, this one's the sloppy one. And now let me bring the camera back. Where hopefully you can see we're gonna bend after this, so okay. Now you have your barrels, but they're way too stiff to start. So I like to first off find a good point where I feel, because look at the back. The back is kind of a mess. That's always going to be that way because the leather stretches. But that is going to be where you're putting the force. So I'm trying to get it worked into it, because this technique isn't like normal DU. So here's where my hand is on the bar. The force is going right there. You can see the depth, hopefully. Calluses right here. So that is how you're going to apply the force. Don't even need my thumbs on it. I'm not wrapping around it. I'm going like this, pushing in there, pushing in there. I'm pushing straight together. The wraps are gonna do the torque and bend it. This one's pre-kinked, doesn't matter. What I'm doing is just trying to push these two fists into one another. Literally, one of the things I use is when I get the knuckles to touch, then I know the bend's good. I also kind of know, like, well, it's probably 50, 60 degrees. There's not much more to do. But like this grip, I think, is something that is very different from normal DU benders. You can do a lot of dynamic side cut, but generally what you're gonna do is from here, up as much as you can get, and then you push these together. Shoulders are coming up, traps, upper back, all of that's coming together. Triceps are pushing in. I'm just trying to get these fists together. The bend's already done. switch the side. At this point, like, knuckles touch. That's complete. So that's that 01 drill rod. Let me throw in another one. Here's an R. Let me mark it. I like to mark it because sometimes I will make adjustments. 4 centimeters is usually where I want to be. It should be a nice fit after that Q, basically. Q up to R now. That's why I like, you can do one set of wraps. Go for, just keep fitting in bars, basically. Same size or bigger. I've even gone smaller and had success. So 4 centimeters. This is the R. Same thing. Getting the wraps ready. I'm gonna push my fists together where the force is going here. Just kind of get stretched out a bit. Push them in. Sometimes I will reverse the wrap to get a little extra stiffness and leverage into it. Usually only after a good kink, because here you're already, as you can see, starting in a good torquing angle. Whereas if it was straight, it would be harder to get that torque into it. It would be harder to do your straight press. So that's what we'll do. Really shoulder and upper back intensive. There we go, there's an R. You can see the barrel gets a little stretched. It's okay, reverse it, you go lateral even. You're back. So these will last you a lot of bends before you need to rewrap. That's why bolts can be lame, because you gotta rewrap them all the time. This one's definitely more superior. So there's the R. I think that's basically it. It's not that like where you're doing the wrist thing, where you're, I don't know, I can't even do it because my wrists are messed up. It's really just a pressing motion like this, like Dio. It's kind of like, very much like Dio. I'm not trying to do that sort of thing. It's not down, it's straight, it's in. Shoulders come up in. Not this. More like this. Higher up the better. The more you can get everything in there, like with good DU or DO. So, any questions, let me know. I'm gonna take a quick break and then actually start my bending session. Got some stuff planned. So, make some giant barrels and start it.